For this set review episode, all of the cards are villains of some form to the Digidestined from Adventure 2. Simultaneously, because Grankuwagamon is typically viewed as the counterpart to Imperialdramon, I lumped the Tyrantkabuterimon line with this episode as well. For the level 2 of Purple, Cupimon makes its debut, the first of its kind in Purple. It has a simple inheritable of on deletion. By trashing one card in your hand, gain 1 memory. For the tricks you can do with your memory, it's kind of interesting, but again, not the card draw I am looking for. Jumping to level 5s, Aru Kenyon is the first villain of this set to go over. This Digimon has a play cost 5 and a standard Digivolution cost of 3 from any purple level 4 Digimon. It has Blocker and an on-play effect that reveals the top 5 cards of your deck, trash 2 cards among them, then return the rest to the bottom. Additionally, it has an on-deletion effect that you may play one Tamer card with Myotismon in its text without the same name as one of your Tamers without paying cost from your trash. Previously, your only target was Yukio Oikawa, but now you have the additional Tamer of Aru Kenyon and mummymon. Sadly, I wish this card was a when Digivolving on-play effect because in more recent times, that's what they've been. For a play cost of 6, there's one more important piece that is important that will be discussed in this video. Additionally, I feel that unless you get Yukio to trash quickly via this effect, does it set up your potential Malam Myotismon play. As for mummymon, same identical costs and stats, but unlike the Blocker, has Retaliation. This Digimon has an on-play effect that draws 2, trashes 2, and like Aru Kenyon, the same on-deletion effect. I'll touch on the Tamer options when I get to Aru Kenyon and mummymon. Pheromon is the next purple Digimon to go over in this set review. A 12 cost 4 to Digivolve from a purple level 5 Digimon that has an on-play when Digivolving effect, that deletes one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. Your turn, once per turn when an effect deletes another Digimon, you may play one level 5 or lower Digimon card with the Undead or Dark Animal trait from your trash without paying the cost. Curiously, this card is a wizard, meaning you can find this card in searches with cards like Ai and Mako. But truly the intended targets for this card are Aru Kenyon and mummymon, and largely support a sealed setting in my mind. On the bright side, at least you get an on-play effect to activate. The true villain for this episode falls on Malam Myotismon, the newest variant that is 13 play cost, 5 Digivolution cost, and a big body of 13,000 DP. You know what they say about villains, right? Bigger is badder. This Digimon has a when Digivolving, when attacking effect, that by deleting one of your Digimon or Tamers, delete one of your opponent's unsuspended Digimon. If this effect didn't delete one of your opponent's Digimon, delete one of their Tamers. Finally, it has an all turns once per turn effect that when one of your other Digimon or Tamers is deleted by an effect, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. Immediately, I'm curious why Bandai didn't make this Digimon on play as well, considering you are now forced to Digivolve into this to try and attack immediately for the removal and trashing security. BT8 Malam Myotismon doesn't have this issue, as you can combo it with Yukio Oikawa. The big issue in my mind right now though is that there's no way to give this Digimon rush, giving your opponent a grace turn to either out this Digimon, or win the game. In the meantime, I guess it's time to start experimenting with my favorite purple Tamer, Alice, or even some shenanigans with the likes of win rate 60%. Moving to the next villain from the movie, Ukkomon returns as yet another white Digimon, albeit this time, this Digimon has a Digivolution cost of 1 from any color. It has a your turn once per turn effect, that when one of your Digimon moves from the breeding area to the battle area, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add one Digimon or Tamer card among them to your hand, then return the rest to the bottom, and you may hatch in your breeding area. Considering you now have multiple ways to promote Digimon from the breeding area, the cycling this Digimon offers is insane. And for a lot of players, 4 of each Ukkomon would become a staple in certain decks. I'm looking at you, Nummymon. On the other hand, Big Ukkomon is the level 6 Digimon from the movie, that has a Digivolution cost of 5 from any Digimon and a big beefy stat line of 13,000 DP. On deletion, return all Tamers to their owner's hands, then you may play one Tamer card from your hand, and one Ukkomon from your trash, without paying the cost. Oh look, a float. End of your turn once per turn. By returning one Digi-Egg card from your trash to the bottom of the Digi-Egg deck, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest level. Then you may play one level 4 or lower Digimon card from your hand to the breeding area, without paying the cost. Considering most decks can burn through all your Digi-Eggs in a game, this also helps cycle some of those eggs, and if your breeding area is empty, set up another body to promote next turn. One particular build on DigimonMeta.com caught my eye that utilizes this Digimon. While it does show a potential candidate from Japan's format, keep in mind, we have slight differences that might not make it as competitive. In addition, while the cost for this Digimon is expensive, you do have a way to cheat him out. Remember how I mentioned for Arukenimon's high play cost it felt bad? The Tamer card Aru Kenyon and mummymon has a your turn effect that reduces the cost of Arukenimon or mummymon by 3 when you would play it from your hand by deleting this Tamer. Because of this, you always have ways to recycle this Tamer back to the battlefield. The only downside, this will need to be in the trash if you want to just play it for free. As for Louis Owada, this Tamer returns as a memory fixer with a main, once per turn effect that by deleting one of your ukkomon and trashing one of your Digimon in the breeding area, you may play one big ukkomon in your breeding area from your hand for a cost of 3. Honestly, this is kind of insane. You sacrifice ukkomon and a Digimon in the breeding area with this in play, and bam! You've got a level 6 Digimon ready to promote. Considering you can also set this up for Quartzmon the following turn, prepare for the memes. For the remainder of this video, it's all Insectoid support from here. Kokabuterimon makes its second appearance, with a 3-play cost, 0 to Digivolve into from a green level 2 Digimon, and a 1000 DP stat line. And honestly, I wish this was a Tentomon card. On play, reveal the top 4 cards of your deck, add 1 card with Insectoid and its traits to your hand, and return the rest to the bottom. The Inheritable simply provides a plus 1000 DP buff while this Digimon is suspended. Why aren't you Tentomon? Come on, Bandai! This provides your search for the deck. Bladekuwagamon is a level 4 Digimon, with a play cost of 4 and a Digivolution cost of 2 from a level 3 green Digimon, with a stat line of 4000 DP. Although it is a machine and trait, this Digimon is also treated as Insectoid, meaning you have a potential secondary hit from Kokuamon X. On play and when Digivolving, one of your Digimon gets plus 3000 DP until the end of your opponent's turn. The Inheritable is identical to that of Kokabuterimon and gives you plenty of buffs when combined together. In sealed, I think this could be valuable as well. For metallifekuwagamon, this Digimon has a play cost of 7, Digivolve for 3 from a green level 4, and has an on-play when Digivolving effect that you may suspend one Digimon. Doesn't matter if it's yours or your opponent's Digimon, but then one of your Digimon gets plus 3000 DP until the end of your opponent's next turn. The Inheritable is an opponent's turn once per turn effect that redirects the attack of one of your opponent's Digimon to one of your suspended Digimon with Insectoid and trait. Move aside, Mega Kabuterimon Ace! You've been replaced. Because setting up for the Inheritable is much more important. Jokes aside, I really love this card too for what it offers, but of course in the sealed setting, its Inheritable will be limiting unless you pull the top end cards. Grankuwagamon Ace debuts for the first level 6 Insectoid with the Ace mechanic. For 7 memory, you can throw this card into the battle area, or you can Digivolve for 4 from a generic level 5 green or purple Digimon. But from Dino Beamon or a level 5 Digimon with Insectoid in its traits, 3 memory. On play, and when Digivolving, suspend 2 of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers. Cards suspended by this effect cannot unsuspend during your opponent's next unsuspend phase. Then delete one of your opponent's suspended Tamers. Yikes. That's a lot of damage there. Its other effect gives you security attack +1 when this Digimon becomes suspended. With that in mind, could Grandest Kuwagamon be making a comeback in BT16? Attack with this Digimon, and because it was suspended, you give itself +1 security attack, before you use the X Antibody option card to go into Grandest Kuwagamon. It is an option, considering that this is a 4 security breaker right there assuming it survives. Tyrantkabuterimon also makes its official debut in the Digimon card game. A level 6 Digimon that can Digivolve from a level 5 Digimon for 6, or a level 6 Digimon with a play cost of 13 or less for a cost of 2. The only exclusion from its condition is itself. This is also the first green Digimon to have a stat line of 14,000 DP, the first going to Galacticmon, and the most recent one being Leviamon X. This Digimon has a when Digivolving effect, where you may play one Digimon with Insectoid or Larva in its traits from your hand with a play cost reduced by 8. All turns, while this Digimon is suspended, it isn't affected by the effects of your opponent's Digimon. And lastly, end of turn once per turn by suspending one of your other Digimon. Return one of your opponent's Digimon with DP less than or equal to the DP of the Digimon suspended by this effect to the bottom of the deck. Keep in mind, players have discussed that you could play Shivamon, and then with this Digimon's end of turn effect, suspend Shivamon to prevent your opponent from playing option cards. Combo with the fact that you could have metallifekuwagamon or Izzy Azumi in play, and you now have a pretty nice board lock. The last card to go over is, of course, Shine of B, name pending of course in the English release. This 7-cost option card, oh look, a Beelstarmon option card, suspends 2 of your opponent's Digimon, then returns all of your opponent's suspended Digimon with the lowest DP to the bottom of the deck. All of your Digimon get plus 3000 DP until the end of your opponent's turn. After Giant Missile, I don't really know what to expect from green option cards at this point. This feels alright, but with this card, you make the choice of what could potentially go to the bottom. But if you're up against Numamon, it might be everything with no floats. What were your thoughts on today's discussion in regards to villain cards? And which cards do you see yourself tinkering with the most? The next video will cover all the miscellaneous cards of this set, before we of course, go on to Digimon Seekers. This is DIGI-PANDA, logging out.